Howdy YouTube, Darlington Farm here, just over here at the farm. And as you can see, I got my Miller XMT 304 right there set up for voltage sense feeder. My feeder down there, it's a 12 VS. Love that thing. You can run it off just about anything. And today I happen to be running it off CO2. It's just a 20-pound CO2 tank there. And what I'm working on, yay! I finally got my Miller electric decals for this thing, and I actually getting to the point now where I'm doing a fair amount of business with this, so I decided to go ahead and put some work into the skid here. So what I'm doing, as you can see, kind of making a second set of rails to go around it here. This one's just set in a little bit this way, and I'm going to build a hinge to where this will set off the end of there. There'll be a pivot point here, and it'll hinge out. And what I'm doing is I'm going to take a piece of stock, flat stock, and put on here so I can hang my grinders on there. I guess I can pull one of them out here so you can kind of get the idea. Yeah, just hang the grinders on there, because right now it's just kind of a pain in the ass. You always end up with them like on the tailgate along with 50 other things, so the grinders will just hang on the on that bar there. And then I think I'm going to, well, in the process, I'm going to go ahead and make up a cable rack over here. And on this side, I was going to go ahead and put some bottles. And these coupons I picked up gave me an idea. I think what I'm going to do is get some, probably, I don't know how big a pipe, but some coupons of pipe big enough that'll slip over these tanks, because my 80 and my 125 here are both about the same diameter. So I'm thinking maybe like an 8-inch piece of pipe for those. And then, you know, whatever one is big enough there that the CO2 one will fit in. Because for mobile work, I'm not really planning on getting any, you know, really big cylinders. I think what I'm just going to go ahead and do is put some of these and just weld them, you know, along here, so I can just have space for storing those. And that's kind of what I'm planning on, so hopefully it'll work out okay. Thought for settings here, I guess if anybody's interested, 169 inches a minute of wire there, and I'm running 035, just solid ER70S2, whatever was cheap at my local welding supply place, and I'm running 19 volts, which is pushing about 120 amps. It doesn't show the you know, amperage there until you're actually pulling an arc, but just amazing setup. When you have a fairly big gap, you can just kind of crank your inductance up a little bit, and it will just fill in. Like some of my fit ups here were not the greatest because I did a crappy job when I was cutting them. I need to pick up a chop saw, but I just did these with an angle grinder. And so, yeah, as you can see, that's not the prettiest weld, but the gap there was pretty big. But you can just kind of set it, and it will just kind of fill in, or in corners there, like on tube steel, you can just set the inductance, and it will just suck right up in there. It's really slick. I really like the way that works. But yeah, so I'm gonna have my bottles on this side, you know, grinder pivot there, and, you know, kind of cord reel, and just trying to put some work into the skid here, because it's probably going to be spring. I'm kind of noodling with either buying a bigger truck or just putting a flatbed on this truck, because the bed's kind of rotted out as it is. So I kind of got half a notion to just put a flatbed on this truck, because I was looking around the older 7.3s like this around here are going for like $10,000 for, you know, a 15-year-old truck. This is kind of crazy. So I don't know that I really want to buy, you know, I don't really want to buy a Ford with a 6-liter, and I'm kind of noodling with a Dodge, but then I'm trying to do everything cash as I go. So I don't know. I may just put a flatbed on this one, or I may just live with this skid until I can buy a newer truck. Anyway, I'm Darlington Farm. Thank you for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe.